Have you ever felt alone and wondered why? Maybe you've experienced times of isolation that left you questioning their purpose. Today, we're going to explore God's reasons for isolation, focusing on three key aspects that affect the chosen ones. This video will help you understand the deeper meaning behind these solitary periods and how they can shape your life in powerful ways. Let's start by looking at what it means to be chosen by God. Being chosen doesn't mean you're better than others or that your life will be easy. Instead, it suggests that God has a special plan for you, one that might require periods of separation from the world. These times of isolation aren't punishments, they're opportunities for growth and preparation. The first reason for isolation is personal growth. When we're alone, we have the chance to look inward and really get to know ourselves. It's in these quiet moments that we can hear our own thoughts clearly and start to understand our true feelings and motivations. This self-reflection is a crucial part of spiritual development. Think about the times when you've been by yourself. Maybe you've noticed that your mind becomes clearer, or you start to see patterns in your behavior that you hadn't noticed before. This clarity can be a powerful tool for personal change and improvement. During isolation, you have the space to work on yourself without the distractions and influences of others. Solitude also gives us the opportunity to face our fears and weaknesses. When we're constantly surrounded by others, it's easy to avoid dealing with these issues. But when we're alone, we can't run from them anymore. This confrontation, while sometimes uncomfortable, is necessary for real personal growth. In these quiet times, you might find yourself thinking more deeply about your life's direction, your values, and your beliefs. You might question things you've always taken for granted, or discover new aspects of your personality. All of this self-discovery is part of the growth process that isolation can provide. It's important to note that personal growth during isolation doesn't just happen automatically. It requires effort and intentionality on your part. You need to use this time wisely, engaging in activities that promote self-reflection and learning. This could include keeping a journal, reading books that challenge your thinking, or practicing meditation. The second reason for isolation is preparation for a greater purpose. Often, when God sets someone apart, it's because He's getting them ready for an important task or role. This preparation time is crucial for building the skills, knowledge, and character needed for what lies ahead. During isolation, you might find yourself facing challenges that seem difficult or even impossible. These challenges are not random. They're specific tests designed to strengthen you in the areas where you'll need it most. Each obstacle you overcome is like a training exercise, preparing you for the bigger challenges that await in your future purpose. Isolation can also be a time of intense learning. Without the distractions of everyday life, you can focus on gaining new knowledge and skills. You might feel drawn to study certain subjects or practice specific abilities. Pay attention to these inclinations. They could be clues about the role you're being prepared for. Another aspect of preparation during isolation is the development of patience and perseverance. Waiting can be one of the hardest parts of being isolated, but it's also one of the most important lessons. Learning to trust in God's timing and to keep moving forward even when you can't see the end goal is invaluable preparation for any significant purpose. During this preparation time, you might also experience a stripping away of things that aren't necessary for your future role. This could include relationships, habits, or even beliefs that no longer serve you. While this process can be painful, it's essential for refining you into the person you need to be for your greater purpose. Remember, the preparation you undergo during isolation is not just for your own benefit. The strength, wisdom, and character you develop will ultimately be used to help and inspire others. Your personal growth becomes a tool for positively impacting the world around you. The third reason for isolation is to deepen your relationship with God. When you're separated from the noise and busyness of the world, you have a unique opportunity to focus on your spiritual connection. This is a time to develop a more intimate and personal relationship with the divine. In isolation, you can dedicate more time to prayer and meditation. Without the constant interruptions of daily life, you can engage in longer, more focused conversations with God. This consistent communication can lead to a deeper understanding of God's nature and a stronger sense of His presence in your life. Isolation also provides the quiet needed to hear God's voice more clearly. Often in our busy lives, we struggle to discern God's guidance. But in solitude, those subtle nudges and whispers become more noticeable. You might find that you receive insights or direction that you would have missed in noisier times. This period can also be a time of spiritual testing and refinement. Just as physical isolation can reveal our true character, spiritual isolation can expose the true nature of our faith. It's easy to feel close to God when everything is going well and we're surrounded by supportive people. But can we maintain that connection when we feel alone? This testing can strengthen our faith and make our relationship with God more resilient. During isolation, you might also experience a deeper level of surrender to God's will. When we're stripped of our usual support systems and comforts, we're forced to rely more fully on God. This dependence can lead to a beautiful surrender, where we learn to trust God completely with our lives and futures. It's important to note that deepening your relationship with God during isolation requires active participation on your part. It's not enough to simply be alone. You need to actively seek God's presence and engage in spiritual practices. This could include regular Bible study, worship, fasting, or other spiritual disciplines that help you connect with God. As you go through periods of isolation, it's natural to face challenges and struggles. You might experience feelings of loneliness, doubt, or frustration. These feelings are normal and don't negate the purpose behind your isolation. One common struggle is the temptation to compare your situation to others. You might look at people around you who seem to be moving forward in life and wonder why you're stuck in this period of waiting. Remember that everyone's path is different, and your time of isolation is serving a specific purpose in your life. Another challenge can be maintaining a positive outlook when you can't see the end result. It's easy to become discouraged when you don't know how long your isolation will last or what it's leading to. In these moments, it's crucial to hold on to hope and trust in the bigger picture, even when you can't see it clearly. You might also struggle with feelings of worthlessness or the fear of being forgotten. When we're not actively participating in society in the ways we're used to, we can start to question our value. It's important to remember that your worth isn't determined by your productivity or social connections. Your value is inherent and doesn't change based on your circumstances. To overcome these challenges, it's helpful to develop coping strategies. This could include setting small, achievable goals for each day to give yourself a sense of progress. It might involve creating routines that provide structure to your time, or it could mean finding ways to connect with others, even if it's in limited or unconventional ways. Another helpful strategy is to reframe your perspective on isolation. Instead of seeing it as a punishment or a waste of time, try to view it as a gift, an opportunity for growth and preparation that not everyone gets. This shift in mindset can make a big difference in how you experience your time alone. It's also important to take care of your mental and emotional health during isolation. This might mean practicing self-care activities, seeking professional help if needed, or finding healthy ways to express your emotions. Remember, taking care of yourself is not selfish. It's necessary for you to fulfill the purpose of your isolation. As you navigate through your period of isolation, it's crucial to find meaning in your experiences. This time apart is not just about waiting for something to happen. It's about actively engaging with your circumstances and discovering the hidden blessings within them. One way to find meaning is to look for lessons in your everyday experiences. Even the most mundane aspects of your isolation can teach you something valuable. Maybe you're learning patience through the slow pace of your days, or perhaps you're discovering hidden strengths as you face challenges alone. Another approach is to use your time to explore new interests or develop new skills. This exploration can not only make your time more enjoyable, but might also reveal passions or talents that will be important for your future purpose. Don't be afraid to try new things or revisit old hobbies you've neglected. You can also find meaning by keeping a record of your journey. Journaling about your thoughts, feelings, and experiences can help you process what you're going through and see patterns of growth over time. Looking back on these records can be incredibly encouraging and insightful. Remember that your isolation, while personal, doesn't have to be entirely self-focused. Look for ways to help others, even from your place of solitude. This could be through prayer, sending encouraging messages, or using technology to offer support to those in need. Finding ways to contribute can give your isolation a sense of purpose and connection to the wider world. As your time of isolation comes to an end, you'll face the task of reintegrating into regular life. This transition can be both exciting and challenging. You've grown and changed during your time apart, and now you need to figure out how to apply what you've learned to your daily life. One important aspect of this transition is to take time to reflect on your experiences. What have you learned about yourself, about God, and about your purpose? How have you grown, and what new strengths or insights have you gained? Understanding these changes will help you navigate your return to regular life. As you re-enter society, you might find that some relationships or situations have changed. Be patient with yourself and others as you adjust. Remember that the growth you've experienced is valuable, even if it takes time for others to understand or appreciate it. Look for ways to share what you've learned during your isolation. Your experiences and insights could be incredibly helpful to others who are going through similar situations. By sharing your story, you can turn your period of isolation into a source of encouragement and guidance for others. It's also important to maintain the spiritual practices and habits you develop during your time apart. While your circumstances have changed, the connection with God that you cultivated during isolation should continue to be a priority. Find ways to incorporate prayer, meditation, and other spiritual disciplines into your new routine. As we conclude, let's recap the three main reasons for isolation that we've discussed. 1. Personal growth. Isolation provides the space and quiet needed for deep self-reflection and character development. 2. Preparation for a greater purpose. The challenges and lessons of isolation are designed to equip you for future roles and responsibilities. 3. Deepening your relationship with God. Solitude offers a unique opportunity to strengthen your spiritual connection and hear God's voice more clearly. Remember, if you're currently experiencing a period of isolation, you're not alone. Many others have walked this path before you and have emerged stronger, wiser, and better prepared for their life's purpose. Trust that your time apart is serving an important function, even if you can't see the full picture right now. For those of you watching who have friends or loved ones going through isolation, I encourage you to offer support and understanding. Your patience and encouragement can make a significant difference in their journey. If this video has resonated with you, I invite you to share your own experiences with isolation in the comments below. Your story could be exactly what someone else needs to hear to find hope and meaning in their own situation. Thank you for watching this video on God's purpose behind isolation. Remember, your time apart is not a punishment, it's a preparation. Stay strong, keep growing, and trust in the process. Your greater purpose is waiting,